This is NFL Daily Brief, quick, clear, and current. Hit like and subscribe for the latest league updates. Here are the brief highlights of today's top stories. Baker Mayfield leads late drive as Buccaneers stun Texans in Houston. Brady shown in Raiders coaching booth on MNF. Chargers Mack set for tests on elbow after exit. Commanders Daniels has knee injury, status iffy. Sources: Vikes McCarthy, ankle, out 2 to 4 weeks. Clowney expects to make Cowboys debut Sunday. Bears encouraged by QB Williams' growth in loss. Sources: Burrow, toe surgery, to miss 3 months. Bucs lose Kancey, Goedeke to injury versus Texans. Fantasy football free agent pickups. Herbert controls game in Chargers win over Raiders. Barnwell picks apart 3 wild Week 2 endings, from the Cowboys' big kick to the Jaguars' collapse. Takeaways from every game. More Baker magic, Khalil Mack hurt in Chargers win. Joe Burrow out with turf toe. What is it, and what will 3 months away mean for the QB, Bengals? NFL Week 2's top performance? Check the fan-voted Himmy Award leaderboard. From reassurance to accountability, guess who said what in NFL Week 2? Ranking Week 2 winners and losers and injury impacts from Sunday. That's the Sam we know and love. Sam Darnold showed Pittsburgh what Seattle's offense can do. How Karina Tovar, the NFL's first Latina ref, became a trailblazer. What NFL analytics staffers say about OT possession advantages. Better to have the ball first or second. Now, let's dive deeper into the details. Baker Mayfield led the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to a 20-19 victory over the Houston Texans on Monday night.
This is the second consecutive week Mayfield orchestrated a game-winning drive in the final 2 minutes.
With the game on the line on 4th down, Mayfield scrambled for a crucial first down.
He then completed 5 straight passes, setting up Rachaad White for the winning touchdown run.
The Texans had taken the lead just moments before, but could not stop Mayfield and the Buccaneers' offense.
This win marks Mayfield's first regular season primetime victory with the Buccaneers.
Despite playing without starting tackles Tristan Wirfs and Luke Goedeke, Mayfield performed well.
He completed 25 of 38 passes for 215 yards and 2 touchdowns.
The Buccaneers also benefited from a strong running game, with Bucky Irving and Rachaad White combining for 136 yards.
However, the Buccaneers' defense struggled early, giving up touchdowns on the opening drive for the second straight week.
Last week, it was Bijan Robinson. This week, Nico Collins burned them for a long touchdown.
Both scores put the Buccaneers in an early 7-0 deficit.
Tom Brady, minority owner of the Raiders, was seen in the team's coaching booth during Monday night's game against the Chargers.
This was the first time Brady has been spotted in the booth since becoming a minority owner last year.
Brady was shown on the telecast wearing a headset, indicating his involvement with the team.
He has been a valuable resource for the Raiders, consulting with coach Pete Carroll and general manager John Spytek.
Spytek has praised Brady's input on roster decisions, calling it invaluable.
Offensive coordinator Chip Kelly also reportedly speaks with Brady 2 to 3 times per week about game plans.
However, Carroll clarified that while they do have conversations, the reports about frequent game plan discussions are not accurate.
Carroll emphasized that Brady is a tremendous asset with great insight, and they discuss both life and football.
Besides his ownership role, Brady is also an NFL broadcaster for Fox.
The NFL recently relaxed some restrictions, allowing him to participate remotely in production meetings with coaches and players.
Brady began his broadcasting career last season after a 23-year playing career.
He signed a 10-year, $375 million contract with Fox in 2022, but his ownership role initially led to some limitations.
Los Angeles Chargers linebacker Khalil Mack was ruled out of Monday night's game against the Las Vegas Raiders due to an elbow injury.
The injury occurred in the first quarter and appeared to cause Mack significant pain.
Mack sustained the injury when his hand was caught between teammate Troy Dye and Raiders receiver Trey Tucker during a tackle attempt.
He left the field holding his left hand and was seen bending over in pain before heading to the locker room.
Mack returned to the sideline later in the game with his elbow wrapped in a sling.
Chargers coach Jim Harbaugh stated that Mack would undergo imaging tests but did not provide further details on the injury.
Despite the early exit, Mack managed to record 1 sack and 1 tackle in the first quarter.
He has a history of strong performances against the Raiders, having accumulated 12.5 career sacks against them.
This impressive total has been accrued since 2021, making him the most prolific sacker against the Raiders in that time frame.
Mack played his first 4 seasons with the Raiders before joining the Chargers.
The Chargers ultimately won the game with a score of 20-9.
The team will assess the results of Mack as imaging tests to determine the extent of the injury and his potential return to play.
Washington Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels suffered a left knee injury last Thursday, putting his status for Sunday's game against the Las Vegas Raiders in doubt.
Head coach Dan Quinn confirmed the injury on Monday but did not specify the exact nature of the injury to Daniels' knee.
However, sources have indicated to ESPN that the quarterback is dealing with a sprain and is currently considered day-to-day.
Daniels, last season as Offensive Rookie of the Year, sustained the injury during the first play of the fourth quarter in the loss against the Green Bay Packers.
He was hit on the left knee by Packers safety Javon Bullard while being pursued by edge rusher Micah Parsons.
Coach Quinn emphasized that Daniels must meet all recovery markers before returning to the field, highlighting the importance of Daniels to the team.
The Commanders want to ensure Daniels can fully utilize his running ability, a key aspect of his game, before clearing him to play.
So far this season, Daniels has thrown for 433 yards and 3 touchdowns, in addition to 85 rushing yards.
Quinn outlined the recovery process, stating that Daniels must demonstrate strength, movement, and the ability to change direction and pivot effectively.
If Daniels cannot play, Marcus Mariota will start in his place against one of his former teams.
The Commanders also suffered other significant injuries in their Thursday game, including season-ending injuries to running back Austin Eckler and defensive end Dietrich Wise Jr.
Receiver Noah Brown and tight end John Bates both sustained groin injuries, while cornerback Jonathan Jones left the game with a hamstring injury, leaving their availability for Sunday as game uncertain.
Sources told ESPN that Minnesota Vikings quarterback J.J. McCarthy suffered a high ankle sprain and will be out for 2 to 4 weeks.
Backup quarterback Carson Wentz, signed in August, is expected to start against the Cincinnati Bengals this Sunday.
Vikings coach Kevin O'Connell stated that the team does not currently believe McCarthy needs to be placed on injured reserve.
Undrafted rookie Max Brosmer will serve as Wentz backup.
This injury is a setback for McCarthy, the 10th overall pick in the 2024 draft who missed his entire rookie season due to a knee injury.
He has played minimally in his first 2 starts, compiling a low quarterback rating.
O'Connell expressed disappointment, emphasizing the team's desire for McCarthy to develop and learn.
The injury occurred late in the third quarter of their loss against the Atlanta Falcons.
McCarthy was tackled after a scramble and finished the game, but reported soreness the next morning.
Wentz is now on his 6th team in as many seasons and did not participate in training camp this summer.
He has experience in similar offensive schemes and took first-team reps last week when McCarthy was absent for the birth of his son.
The Vikings also have other injury concerns, including running back Aaron Jones and potentially several offensive linemen.
Jadeveon Clowney is expected to play for the Dallas Cowboys against the Chicago Bears on Sunday despite not participating in the off-season program, training camp, or preseason.
Clowney officially signed with the Cowboys on Monday and stated he expects to play but is unsure of his snap count, leaving that decision to the coaches.
He mentioned his experience playing 40 snaps in his first game with the Tennessee Titans after signing just 6 days prior.
Clowney will have his first practice with the Cowboys on Wednesday.
Coach Brian Schottenheimer expressed confidence in Clowney playing but emphasized that the final decision has not been made.
The Cowboys signed Clowney to strengthen their pass rush, which has produced 4 sacks in 2 games following the trade of Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers.
Clowney clarified that he is not replacing Parsons, stating, "I am Jadeveon Clowney, I am coming in to do me."
The 32-year-old Clowney recorded 5.5 sacks last season with the Carolina Panthers before being released in May.
Joining the Cowboys was Clowney's priority, according to his agent, Kennard McGuire.
Clowney expressed his desire to have played with Parsons but is happy for the opportunity to continue playing football in his 12th year in the league.
He emphasized his competitive drive as his motivation for continuing to play.
Clowney visited the Cowboys last week and rejoins Schottenheimer, who was his offensive coordinator when he played for the Seattle Seahawks in 2019.
Despite a significant loss to the Detroit Lions, quarterback Caleb Williams showed improvement in his second game.
In this game, Williams threw for 207 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception, completing 63.3% of his passes.
The Bears have scored a touchdown on their opening drive for 2 consecutive weeks, a feat they did not accomplish during Williams' rookie season.
Coach Ben Johnson noted significant growth in Williams' performance, particularly in going through his progressions.
Williams excelled on in-rhythm dropbacks, completing 14 of 21 attempts for 191 yards and 2 touchdowns.
However, on quick or extended pass attempts, He completed only 5 of 9 for 16 yards and an interception.
Both of Williams' touchdown passes went to receiver Rome Oduns, bringing their combined total to 3 through 2 games.
While acknowledging areas for improvement, such as throwing the ball out of bounds instead of forcing a pass that resulted in an interception, Williams emphasized the importance of consistency.
He stressed focusing on technique and execution, believing explosive plays will come naturally.
Accuracy remains an area of focus for Williams after struggling in the second half of the season opener against the Vikings.
The Lions pressured Williams on 43.2% of his dropbacks, leading to 4 sacks.
The Bears also committed 6 penalties on offense and turned the ball over twice, including failing to convert on 2 fourth-down attempts.
Joe Burrow will undergo toe surgery and will be sidelined for a minimum of 3 months, according to sources.
This turf toe injury occurred during the first half of the Bengals game against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Images of Burrow's left toe were sent to foot specialist Dr. Robert Anderson for review.
With Burrow out, backup quarterback Jake Browning is expected to start for the Bengals.
Since drafting Burrow in 2020, the Bengals have a record 2 games under 500 without him starting at quarterback.
In those 14 games without Burrow as the starter, the Bengals have averaged fewer than 20 points.
A surgery date for Burrow is yet to be determined, but a timeline should be finalized soon.
Bengals coach Zach Taylor expressed his sympathy for Burrow and acknowledged the work the quarterback put in during the offseason.
The Bengals' Super Bowl odds have shifted from 20-1 to 75-1 following the injury.
They have also gone from a favorite to make the playoffs to an underdog.
The injury appears to have occurred when Burrow was sacked by Jaguars defensive end Eric Armstead.
Coach Taylor defended the Bengals' offensive line and attributed the injury to a lack of coordination among the entire offense.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers suffered 2 key injuries during their Monday night victory against the Houston Texans.
Starting defensive tackle Kancey and starting right tackle Luke Goedeke both left the game due to injuries.
Kancey, the Buccaneers' first-round draft pick, sustained a pectoral injury in the second quarter.
The injury occurred while Kancey was rushing Texans quarterback C.J. Stroud.
Goedeke had been playing through a foot injury sustained in Week 1 against the Atlanta Falcons.
He was able to practice in a limited capacity on Friday before the game.
Goedeke left Monday night's game late in the first quarter.
The Buccaneers were already playing without all-pro left tackle Tristan Wirfs due to a knee injury.
Charlie Heck replaced Goedeke at right tackle.
With Kancey out, the Buccaneers relied on Greg Gaines and Elijah Roberts on the defensive line.
Roberts and Levante David combined for a sack of Stroud in the third quarter.
Goedeke recently signed a 4-year, $90 million contract extension with the Buccaneers.
Week 2 of the National Football League season saw higher fantasy football scores than Week 1, with 6 players exceeding 30 points in point-per-reception formats.
However, Cincinnati Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow is out long-term with an injury, impacting fantasy managers who relied on him.
Other quarterbacks like Justin Fields, Jaden Daniels, and J.J. McCarthy are also dealing with injuries.
Let us discuss some free agent pickups to consider for your fantasy team.
At quarterback, Jake Browning is available but may be more suitable for 2 quarterback leagues.
Matthew Stafford is a solid option widely available in standard leagues.
Daniel Jones has performed well and has a favorable matchup in Week 3.
Mac Jones is another potential streaming option with Brock Purdy injured.
At running back, Bashal Tutin is seeing valuable touches behind Travis Etienne Jr.
Tyler Algier is a reliable backup to Bijan Robinson in Atlanta.
At wide receiver, Romeo Doubs may see more opportunities with Jaden Reed injured.
Elik Iomanor is a rookie receiver showing potential in Tennessee.
DeAndre Hopkins has scored touchdowns but needs more targets to be a consistent option.
At tight end, Jawan Johnson and Zach Ertz have both started the season strong.
Justin Herbert performed well, passing for 242 yards and 2 touchdowns in the Chargers' victory over the Raiders.
He also added 31 rushing yards, showcasing his comfort in the second year with offensive coordinator Greg Roman.
The Chargers are now 2-0 for the second consecutive season and hold first place in the American Football Conference West.
Wide receiver Quentin Johnston had an impressive game, catching a 60-yard touchdown pass.
He is the first Charger since Antonio Gates in 2014 with 3 receiving touchdowns in the first 2 games.
Despite the win, the Chargers suffered a setback with Khalil Mack leaving the game early due to an elbow injury.
Raiders quarterback Geno Smith struggled, throwing 3 interceptions, including one on the opening play.
Smith completed only 24 of 43 passes for 180 yards.
All three interceptions occurred when Smith attempted to throw into double coverage.
A key turning point was Johnston's 60-yard touchdown reception just before halftime, extending the Chargers' lead to 20-6.
Smith was 0 for 12 on passes of 10 or more air yards, a significant drop from his Week 1 performance.
Raiders tight end Brock Bowers played despite a knee injury but was limited to 5 catches for 38 yards.
Week 2 in the National Football League featured several close games with exciting finishes.
3 teams, the Cowboys, Bengals, and Colts, achieved comeback victories in the final minutes or overtime.
The Cowboys overcame the Giants with a game-winning field goal in overtime after a back-and-forth contest.
Dallas needed a 64-yard field goal at the end of regulation to force overtime.
Giants quarterback Russell Wilson played well until overtime, where he threw a crucial interception.
The Cowboys' defense struggled against deep passes, allowing Wilson 7 completions of 20 or more yards.
The Colts defeated the Broncos after a penalty gave Indianapolis a second chance at a game-winning field goal.
Broncos quarterback Bo Nix played better than Week 1 but threw a key interception in the fourth quarter.
Denver also suffered from special teams mistakes and costly penalties.
The Colts' run game, led by Jonathan Taylor, was highly effective against the Broncos' defense.
The Bengals beat the Jaguars despite losing quarterback Joe Burrow to a toe injury.
Backup quarterback Jake Browning threw 3 interceptions after replacing Burrow.
The Jaguars had opportunities to win but failed to capitalize due to dropped passes and a turnover on downs.
Jacksonville also struggled in the red zone, settling for field goals on multiple drives.
Week 2 featured exciting games, including the Packers' impressive win against the Commanders and the Patriots scoring over 30 points for the first time since 2021.
The Bills and Ravens dominated their opponents after their thrilling Week 1 matchup, while the Cowboys and Giants played the first overtime game of the season.
The Colts, Panthers, and Eagles also had close, exciting victories.
Baker Mayfield led the Buccaneers to another late-game win, while the Chargers, led by Justin Herbert, improved to 2-0.
Khalil Mack suffered an elbow injury in the Chargers' victory over the Raiders, raising concerns about his availability.
The Raiders' offensive line struggled, allowing 16 pressures and 3 sacks.
The Buccaneers continued their hot start, going 2-0 for the third straight season.
The Texans' defense played well, but their offense struggled to score touchdowns.
Rookie defenders made an impact for the Falcons, while the Vikings' offense struggled with injuries and inconsistencies.
Rookie safety Andrew Mukuba had a key interception for the Eagles, while the Chiefs' offense struggled in the second half.
Daniel Jones led the Colts to a comeback win over the Broncos.
The Cardinals suffered injuries at cornerback, while the Panthers showed signs of improvement despite starting 0-2.
Cincinnati Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow suffered a turf toe injury requiring surgery and sidelining him for at least 3 months.
Backup quarterback Jake Browning led the Bengals to a 31-27 victory over the Jacksonville Jaguars after Burrow left the game.
Browning previously started 7 games in 2023 after Burrow suffered a season-ending wrist injury, going 4-3 in that stretch.
This injury raises questions about the Bengals' playoff aspirations and the impact on fantasy football players like Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
Browning is an aggressive thrower who likes to attack tight windows and push the ball downfield, potentially benefiting Chase in fantasy leagues.
Higgins may see a slight dip in fantasy production but still possesses breakout game potential given his versatile skill set.
Turf toe is a hyperextension injury at the big toe joint, often occurring when cleats stick to the turf while the body moves forward.
The severity of the injury ranges from mild sprains to complete ligament tears, with the latter requiring surgical intervention.
Recovery time varies but can take several weeks for mild to moderate injuries and up to 3 months or more for surgical repairs.
The big toe is crucial for quarterbacks, affecting their ability to throw, drop back, pivot, and protect themselves.
The Bengals currently have only Browning and Burrow on their roster, meaning they will likely need to add a third quarterback.
Brett Rypien, currently on the practice squad, is the most likely candidate to be called up.
Week 2 of the 2025 NFL season saw impressive performances from both veteran and rookie players.
The fan-voted Hemi Award recognizes the top individual performance of the week.
Jared Goff tied his career best with 5 touchdown passes in the Lions' victory over the Bears.
He led the Lions to over 500 yards of offense and a 52-21 victory.
This was Goff's 5th career game with his team scoring over 50 points.
Brandon Aubrey made NFL history with his game-winning kicks for the Cowboys.
He hit a 64-yard field goal to force overtime and then a 46-yarder to win the game.
This was the first time a player achieved this feat in the same game.
Fred Warner caused a key turnover for the 49ers against the Saints.
He forced a fumble and recovered it, leading to a San Francisco touchdown.
This takeaway proved crucial in the 49ers' 26-21 win.
Jalen Hyatt-Neighbors had an impressive game for the Giants despite their loss.
He had 167 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns against the Cowboys.
One of his touchdowns was a difficult 48-yard catch despite defensive contact.
National Football League Week 2 featured many close games and exciting moments that resulted in memorable quotes.
Alongside a rematch of Super Bowl 59 between the Philadelphia Eagles and Kansas City Chiefs, other notable games took place.
The Detroit Lions played against one of their former coaches in Chicago.
The Dallas Cowboys secured their first victory of the season.
The Miami Dolphins continued to experience difficulties.
After each respective game, players and coaches openly shared their reactions.
Can you accurately guess who said what following these Week 2 matchups?
This is a good way to test how closely you paid attention during the games.
Let us explore some of the most noteworthy comments made.
We will analyze the context and meaning behind these statements.
This will provide insight into the mindset of the players and coaches.
It will also offer a glimpse into the dynamics of the league.
Malik Neighbors had an impressive game on Sunday, scoring a career-high 37.7 PPR fantasy points.
His performance included a remarkable 48-yard touchdown catch despite tight coverage.
Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jared Goff also had standout performances against the Chicago Bears.
Goff threw 5 touchdowns, and St. Brown caught 3 of them.
Jamar Chase excelled despite Joe Burrow leaving the game with a toe injury.
Chase still managed to score 36.5 PPR fantasy points.
Rome Odunze had a career-best performance despite the Bears' loss to the Lions.
He scored 31.8 points and appears to be Caleb Williams' #1 target.
James Cook had a strong game with 26.5 PPR fantasy points and 2 rushing touchdowns.
His goal line usage is encouraging for his fantasy outlook.
Drake May showcased his dual threat ability in the Patriots' win against Miami.
He threw for 2 touchdowns and rushed for another.
Mark Andrews had another disappointing week with only 1.4 fantasy points.
His slow start raises concerns given his age and the Ravens' run-heavy offense.
Sam Darnold made a crucial play in the Seahawks' Week 2 victory over the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Facing 3rd and long, Darnold evaded pressure and connected with tight end A.J. Barner for a 19-yard gain.
This play extended the drive and ultimately helped secure the win for Seattle.
Coach Mike Macdonald praised Darnold for the play, highlighting his ability to make throws on the move.
The following play, Darnold connected with Jackson Smith-Njigba for a 43-yard gain.
Kenneth Walker III sealed the victory with a 19-yard touchdown run soon after.
Macdonald expressed confidence in Darnold and the Seahawks offense going forward.
The Seahawks offense struggled in Week 1 against the San Francisco 49ers.
However, they bounced back against Pittsburgh, showing more of the potential that the coaching staff envisioned.
Darnold distributed the ball well, connecting with multiple receivers throughout the game.
Smith-Njigba had another strong performance, catching 8 passes for 103 yards.
The Seahawks defense also played well, holding the Steelers to 267 yards.
Karina Tovar, the National Football League's first Latina referee, made history in professional football.
At a refereeing camp, Jerry Austin, a renowned National Football League referee, tested Tovar by jokingly disagreeing with her call on a pass play.
Tovar confidently stood her ground, demonstrating her knowledge of the rules.
This interaction was a pivotal moment for Tovar, leading to her invitation to officiate Conference United States of America games.
Tovar is one of 2 female referees currently officiating in the National Football League.
She hopes her journey inspires other women to pursue careers in officiating.
Tovar developed a love for football at a young age, preferring it over cartoons.
She was an active child and played multiple sports, encouraged by her parents.
Tovar is first-generation American, her parents having immigrated from Mexico.
She began officiating high school basketball and later transitioned to football.
Tovar's dedication and hard work propelled her through college and junior college levels.
She became the first female official in the Atlantic Coast Conference and later worked in the Pacific 12 Conference.
The National Football League adopted new overtime rules for the 2025 season, making the coin toss decision more strategic.
Previously, a first possession touchdown ended the game, but now both teams are guaranteed a possession unless there is a defensive score.
ESPN surveyed analytics staffers from 9 National Football League teams about these new overtime rules.
The survey revealed a split among teams regarding whether to choose the first or second possession after winning the coin toss.
3 teams leaned towards first possession, 3 towards second, 1 favored almost always first, 1 almost always second, and 1 saw it as a true 50-50 proposition.
The second possession team benefits from knowing the outcome of the first drive and adjusting their strategy accordingly.
However, the first possession team has the advantage of receiving the ball in a potential third possession if the score remains tied.
ESPN Analytics favors taking the first possession, but the decision is influenced by touchback rates.
With the new touchback rule bringing the ball to the 35-yard line, a higher touchback rate slightly increases the first possession team's win probability.
Interestingly, most teams believe other teams will choose the second possession, even if they themselves believe the first possession is optimal.
This discrepancy may be attributed to the outcome of Super Bowl 58, where the San Francisco 49ers chose the first possession and lost, leading to criticism of their coach.
The shortened overtime period in the regular season compared to the postseason also impacts the decision, with some teams favoring second possession due to the reduced likelihood of a third possession.
That's a wrap on this week's NFL Blitz Talk. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next time with more gridiron fire and fearless breakdowns. Downs.